There's some people I went to high school with I'd like to criticize now. And just in case Tim Cheech is watching from college, he's very cheap. And you can leave that in.
Okay.
Because we all know he's cheap.
Welcome back to the Times Leader Beer Gang, episode 5. This week, as you can see, we forgot the bottles at home. But we are going to be talking about the Yuengling Flight this week, a new light beer made by Pennsylvania's own Yuengling bottling company.
I believe it's Yuengling Brewery, the oldest brewery in America.
Well, you know, we could call it what we want. But, what did everybody think of this new light beer?
Well, interestingly enough, I used to work right down the street from the Yuengling Brewery in Pottsville, Pennsylvania. It was a good light beer. I mean, there's nothing different about it. I mean, it was only 92 calories. For a beer that only has 92 calories, it had a lot of taste. If you're looking for a light beer and you're tired, you don't want to drink the traditional Coors Light or Miller Lite or the Miller 64, any of those. I think it's a good choice. It wasn't that expensive. I think it was a $7.99 for a 6-pack of 12-ounce bottles. So I mean, it was a good beer. Like I said, there's nothing special about it. Nothing you're going to be there. Oh, I got to go get myself some more Flight. But if you're looking for an alternative to the typical light offerings that are out there, it's a good choice. I thought it had a lot more flavor than Coors Light.
Absolutely.
And maybe if it's similar to Miller Lite, because Miller Lite's a little more flavorful. But it was a good tasting beer.
Ben, what did you have to say?
So I actually thought this compared a lot to Michelob Ultra, and the way Ultra kind of tastes. It has a lot of flavor, and it does have the lower calories. I do agree with Joe. I think it had a little bit more flavor than a typical light beer. I really enjoyed it. I definitely could see myself drinking it more in the future.
Right, absolutely. In my notes that I took for this episode, because we had to, film 3 episodes today due to some scheduling issues, so
he couldn't remember what the beer tasted like.
Well, I, wanted to make sure that I had all the flavors kept straight. I wrote, did they just rebottle Miller Lite? Because I thought it was, like you guys said, a very standard light beer. It's good. I liked it. That's about all I have to say about it, because if you're familiar with these sort of light beers, you're familiar with the Yuengling Flight. There's nothing bad about it. It's not spectacular either.
I think the 92 calories is lower than what typically you see in a light beer, unless you go with something like the Miller 64 or the Michelob Ultra. Mm-hmm. I could be wrong about that. I've been wrong about maybe one thing once before in my life.
Just once or twice, yeah.
But I think it is a little lower in calorie count than what a Miller Lite or Coors Light would be, which is hard to believe because, honestly, I've been known to have some Coors Lights from time to time, as people at various establishments will tell you. But there is not a lot of flavor in Coors Light, and this beer is certainly a beer that's got a lot of flavor.
Yeah, absolutely. It had a nice sort of pale color to it. And like you said, flavorful, but nothing overly surprising from it.
Yeah, I noticed you said, did they just rebottle Miller Lite? See, I think Miller Lite has the least amount of flavor in all of the light beers, and that's really what I don't like about it. Mm-hmm. And that's something that I think Flight kind of changed up a little bit. It added a little bit more flavor to the light beer.
Right, absolutely. Cool. Well, I think that does it for this week's episode of the Times Leader Beer Gang.
And just remember, if you like our videos, consider subscribing to the Times Leader. You can do that by calling 570-829-5000 or visiting timesleader.com.
And these videos are available every Monday, only right here on timesleader.com. Next week we will be reviewing the Lion's Head Belgian White Ale, and we're going to be filming that in about 15 seconds. So stay tuned for that.